Welcome back to our channel, YouTube. We are here with the house tour of our PV Vista build that we have been building and furnishing for the last year with our build partners, E&S Builders. And this project is such a special one. One, it's sponsored by Roborock, which is a superior leader in robotic cleaning. And we have a very special guest here with us today in the shape of a little vacuum that has been keeping us super clean throughout this entire install. So you're going to learn more about our Roborock S7 Max V Ultra in this video. And in addition, you're going to learn about all of the incredible stories of these vintage and heirloom pieces in this project. It's gonna be a good one. Okay, YouTube, meet Jeffrey. Jeffrey is our new Roborock S7 Max V Ultra robotic vacuum. And this is not your everyday robotic vacuum. It has been so amazing to have another helper on the THELIFESTYLEDCO staff as we've been installing this project. We have not had to think about the floors one time during the install because our Roborock S7 Max V Ultra does all the work. So it's pretty cool. Jeffrey, we asked Instagram to name our new friend and we came up with Jeffrey. So he's lovingly called Jeffrey. I definitely feel like he has like some male masculine energy vibes going on. But this piece of equipment is so cool. It's far superior to all of its predecessors and it does some awesome things that are just super intuitive. So I feel like this is a super luxe, like tricked out version of a robotic vacuum. So there's a couple things that just using it for a short time I have learned to already love. One, the dock will actually refill the vacuum when it needs water, which is amazing. It has a super fast charging capability through the app where you can charge it completely in 4 hours, which is 30% faster than most of the other robo vacuums that are out there. It also knows when to vacuum and when to mop. It dries with air where it mops. And what I think is super incredible, it also lifts itself up when it transitions onto carpet. So in this particular project, we have a ton of vintage rugs that you're gonna learn all about. And obviously I can't risk, especially in a client home, having something super high tech like this and for whatever reason it not performing. And it has been amazing. So many ways users can vacuum and mop without having to interact with the robot by hand. Automatic emptying allows for cleaning up to 8 weeks. It also has a series of filters, including a HEPA layer that trap up to 99.9% of particles. While the washing module moves, it is also scraping along the bottom of the dock, removing dirt out of the mop and pumping it back into the dirty water tank. It also has this crazy technology where it knows not to hit things. So I haven't heard it hit a baseboard once, which again, this is a new build, a new project. The clients don't want their robo vacuum hitting the baseboard. So this Roborock S7 Max V Ultra does not do that. This project is special to us for so many reasons. Before I get into that, I want to tell you more about the parties that made this possible. I mentioned E&S Builders. They are the builder of the home. The architect is John Anthony at JA Drafting. And then the lead designer on this project is Rachel McCloskey. She has been a lead designer of ours for many, many years. You've seen tons of her projects on YouTube. And I truly cannot imagine another designer taking this project. Rachel has this like eclectic, wonderful, vintage heart, even though she's very young and wonderful and joyful and all the things, but truly like the pairing between Rach and our client was just magic, and that's why this looks the way it does. So I can't always tell you a lot about the clients, but in this case I can. These clients are art and antique curators. So I mean like highest level that you can think of. They have antiques and pieces that have been passed down in their family for generations. And it was really, really important to them when we sat down to start the initial conversations about building a brand new home, how we could make the house feel lived in, pay homage, of course, to the beauty that lies within antiques and vintage pieces, and make it not feel new. So those were kind of some of their most important characteristics about the home. And so on the hardscape side, we kept things really very, very clean and bright and neutral so that it was just a blank canvas. So I'm gonna show you all of those things here today, talk a little bit about the hardscape, try to drop some sources, and also show you about some of their pieces. And I've gotten a couple lessons on some of the pieces so that you have some backstory. Obviously, I'm obsessed with them from a design standpoint, but I don't have all of the stories that each piece has. So I feel very special that they shared some of that with us. In the entry, and I also want to mention this home is 3,500 square feet, so it's a more intimate floor plan than maybe some of the other homes you see here on our channel or our projects. It's also a multi-generational home. So there is a side of this property that is for their Mimi. She's wonderful and amazing as well and full of life, and where they get a lot of these pieces from. So we won't be showing you her wing. She didn't need any of our help in design, so we didn't get to design that for her, like I said, because she's got her own eye. But so it's a multi-generational home, 3,500 square feet. It's in Paradise Valley in Arizona, which is a highly sought after area here. And it's just a beautiful estate property. So I'm really, really proud of this project for so many reasons. Into the entry. We layered these pieces. So this case is called, I believe, a cassone, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Melanie, our client, I hope you're happy with that, because I need all the schooling I can get in this particular piece. It's an Italian marriage case that is heavily carved that you would put things in as you're a newly married couple and throughout your marriage. So it's been passed down, like I said, for generations for them, and I just think it's such a gorgeous piece. So playing with juxtaposition, I'm probably gonna say that 10 times today, if not more. The old with the new. So this is a new ivory leather tufted console piece. And truly, like, we had hundredths of inches, I think, to get this thing in. Like, it is so impeccably measured and just fits perfectly over it. Lots of pieces. This style, I would say, is like more is more. We really, of course, organic desert living in a lot of ways, but we really bridged how minimal organic desert living can be and how maximal antiques and vintage pieces can be. This art piece is theirs as well. We played with statues, both an older shaped statue, if you will, or a vintage statue in that like really beautiful, strong stallion, and then more of kind of like an abstract statue piece here. Frames, of course, some crazy greenery moment. It's just so layered and gorgeous. These are all vintage books. Almost every book in this place is from the family, and it has been passed down in their family. And then this art piece, it's just stunning. It's so much color. So for those of you who think we can't design with color, it's not that we can't, it's that we just don't normally, because a lot of people, or most people I should say, aren't super into color. So come this way, we're walking into the great room. This space from the very beginning was obviously super important to them. It is for most of you. This vintage rug is absolutely one of a kind. And if you're wondering, like, how does the design process work in something like this? Very, very, very early on, we had our clients pull pieces, pull dimensions, photography of the pieces, and we started plotting from a scale standpoint very early to make sure that this rug would fit in this room. There's a vintage tapestry I'm gonna show you in the dining room as well. We basically had to scale that wall to make sure that that tapestry would fit on that wall. So when you're working with heirloom pieces, it's one of the questions we get most often. How do I pay homage to this beautiful piece that's been in my family? How do I work this in with a really modern lined XYZ? You got to start early, right? Keep that planning in mind, make sure that you have proper dimensions, bridge the old with the new, right? That's that juxtaposition. A lot of these pieces, actually all of the furniture in this space, other than 2 vintage chairs that are flanking the fireplace, are new, but they don't really look it. They really play well together, and I'm so proud of that. So I just think the space in general, you can fit so many people here. Again, vintage book stacks, a vintage statue, candle moments, like you can just feel it. It feels amazing. Capped with this huge oversized lighting moment. You know we like big lights and we cannot lie. And even in an antique vintage curation, there's definitely a spot for just incredible oversized lighting. It really helps make the space feel grounded and lived in and big, right? Like, I just love it. Here on this focal wall, the 2 vintage chairs that have been in their family for a super long time, fireplace moment. We're gonna turn the fireplace on here at some point, but it's still like hot here. It's still so hot. So by the time this airs, I'm hoping we're like in the 80s and maybe we can pull off a fireplace moment, but for now it's just super hot. But you can feel the scale of the space. I also think something to know is how incredible these window treatments are. On the other side of this beautiful wall of windows, which was done by Sierra Pacific Windows, is their pool. It's clean and classic. There's actually no overhang or pergola on this property, so the amount of light that comes in is just incredible. It's so beautiful, which also helps highlight vintage pieces, right? So we want things to have a lot of natural light so that you can really take in all of the grandeur and how eclectic things are, the depth of the pieces, you can feel that age. If the room was super dark, the space may feel a little bit lifeless, and you don't want that, especially when you're trying to work with those vintage pieces. I am here in the dining lounge, as we're calling it, and on the plans, this started as a formal dining space, just like so many of your homes have, but it was super important to our clients that they had kind of a space to come after dinner, right, and pour a fresh glass of wine or make a cocktail, and also a space that felt more intimate so that when they didn't have a whole table, 12 people over, they could come sit here and enjoy it and not feel like they were sitting at the end of a huge table. So that's how we created this footprint. This is a table of theirs. Again, it's a vintage piece. And then we paired just how intricate and aged this piece is with something super new and clean lined and modern and soft, which is why these barrel chairs I think work so well. So they're so comfortable, they swivel, and they also have this wood pedestal base, which I absolutely love. So it elevates them and really plays well with how round this space is. We also went with, you'll probably notice, a really small rug intentionally. So we didn't max out the space with another huge rug. And I'll tell you why as we move through the space, because of this. This is a vintage tapestry that was, I want to say, the grandmother of our client. I'm pretty sure that and the cassone in the entryway all came to her from her grandmother. So this tapestry has been in their family for hundreds of years. I want to say she said it was from the 1800s even, and it is just incredible. Like, I don't know if the detail of this and how beautifully and immaculately mint conditioned it is will come through on the video, but it is so stunning. And as a designer, especially if you don't always design in that vintage antique world, getting to design with something like this is truly a monumental moment in my career, and definitely for Rachel, who is the lead designer on the project. You don't get to work with these pieces very often, right? I can frame any piece of art and throw it on the wall, but when do I get to work with an 1800s piece of vintage tapestry? So it was a true honor. We hung it from above, and it just has taken this space over in such a beautiful way. We capped it with just good old-fashioned sconces, with a beautiful linear black tapered candle. And then this table, this is another piece of the client. So this is a vintage table with both leaves in it. They've had it in their family. And so we had to pair, how do we work with something that is from the 1800s and then also a vintage antique table piece, and put brand new chairs with it and make this room have a vibe, right? Every room should have a vibe. We went with this beautiful banquette, which is absolutely incredible. This piece and several others that you see here are available on thelifestyleco.com, so our e-commerce site where we sell a ton of our furniture and pieces that we use and accessories. So this piece will definitely be on there. The table will not. There is no link for it. I'm sorry to tell you, but most of the vintage pieces have been curated, like I said, for so long, so no link for those. But these chairs also so gorgeous. The lines are incredible, and they just play really well together, and I think really set the mood and make you feel like you're gonna have maybe dinner with like a king or a queen or someone fabulous, even if it's just your friends. So as we walk from the dining lounge and the great room into the kitchen, you will notice the flooring in this project is different than any flooring we've used before, and we wanted it to have this like ashy kind of blonde feeling to it so that it was really super balanced and let some of the darker wood tones that we have in the antiques really shine through. So this is from Bravada and it's called Voussoir. It is absolutely incredible. So impressed with it. It is, I wanna say 7.5 inches by 6 feet, something like that, random lengths. But it's just stunning and it's beautiful, and I think it provided such a gorgeous foundation for this project. You'll also notice in this house, we added a lot of molding that we don't normally add in projects. I think there's a time and place for it, and this is the time and place, and it just really set these rooms off and helped just kind of add that final layer. So into the kitchen. Very important to our clients to have a clean white kitchen. I mentioned it's a multi-generational home, so you have mom and grandma, who's lovingly called Mimi. I just think that's the sweetest name. Cooking in here together. So it was important that we had 2 separate prep areas, enough space for them to both be making meals and not be in each other's way. So what we did is we placed this incredible 48-inch apron front fire clay farmhouse sink under the window here with 2 faucets, so you can get a lot done here. And then in the island, we put another 36-inch farmhouse sink here. So tons of space, you are not gonna hit each other, plenty of countertop space, lots of storage, everything in this very creamy, just balanced tone, and polished brass for all of our hardware and plumbing. I love how just clean it feels, right? It feels a little Parisian, it feels a little Julia Child, not so much stuff around, but it allows all of the vintage pieces that they've curated to also really shine through. So, so many of this, like these scallop bowls are our clients. All of the art you see in this home, almost, I say all, probably 95% of the art is all our clients. We placed a few little teeny pieces, but for the most part, it's all theirs. So I love this still life. I love these. Like, I can't buy this stuff. I mean, I guess you could, but it just it would take a lifetime, I feel. So we are so lucky to have this to work with. We placed a vintage rug in here as well. But this kitchen is just absolutely loaded. I love the edge detail that we have on the countertops. This is a double OG edge on a 3cm. I wanna say, I cannot remember the exact finish of what this quartz is, but it's quartz, and we will link it or at least identify it in the description. It's escaping me right now, but it just looks so balanced and clean and beautiful. And I truly feel like you could just like roll out dough anywhere on these countertops, and it would feel really normal, right? And Ilve, you see them a lot in our projects. This is an Italian range, truly the jewel of the kitchen. It's just stunning. I don't really want kitchens without them anymore. And then moving into this space, this is the butler pantry or the kitchen prep. Through this door is Mimi's wing. So she's got a door here, and then she's also got a door into the laundry room, and this whole side of the house is for her. So she has her own space, but she's also very close to the kitchen, which is super highly functional. There's also a door. All of that light is coming from this exterior door. So truly, this floor plan just allows for so much movement about the space, which is what we're always looking for. So another sink in here. This is where we loaded a ton of their vintage china and stainless, or I'm sorry, silver. So all of their tea sets and service and all of that is in this space. And all in all, it's just another space that you can prep your drinks, right? Make coffee, all of those things. And it's light and bright. And I absolutely love it. I just think it's like, I could live here. And I don't know that I thought I could when we were first designing it, right? Because it's kind of daunting thinking about, we're designing a new build, but our clients don't want it to look new, which is really different than most clients. Most clients want it to look new, right? They're spending a lot of money and they want it to look new. These clients, they didn't really want it to look new. They wanted a beautiful, balanced canvas and foundation for all of their curated pieces. And I think we did it. And now that it's installed, it is so warm and inviting and youthful. I mean, we could do a little house swap if you want, if you guys are listening. We are just beyond the kitchen in kind of the utility area of the home. So right behind you is the garage door and mudroom. And then right off of that is one of 2 powder rooms. Mimi wanted a powder room, obviously, why wouldn't she? And our client also mentioned, hey, I hate when I get in the car and I'm like, oh shoot, I should go to the bathroom. And I don't want to run all the way back through my house. So I want a powder room just off of the garage, which is like super genius. I thought that was really smart. So this is a really small powder room. I'm gonna come in here. I don't usually take you into bathrooms because it's like, at least like water closets, not my thing. But this one is so good that I just love it. I love how intentional this feels. Again, it doesn't feel new. I love the corner placement of this mirror. Rachel did such an incredible job thinking through every single detail. I love that we can hang the towel right here. It's just amazing. I'm also gonna mention the elephant in the room, this faux floral arrangement. I have not bought or paid for a faux flower and I don't even know how long. But in this space, there's no windows, there's no natural light. There is like pretty much no way that even the best green thumb could keep anything alive right here. And the space needed some like something alive or something alive looking. So I'm just gonna tell you, I went to Hobby Lobby halfway through the install. I hate Hobby Lobby so much. I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys are gonna beat me up. I'm sure you all love it. It's not a designer's paradise. It's just not. I had to go deep to get this palette and to get something that looked real. And I think I did it. I'm pretty proud of myself. I announced it on Instagram that I single-handedly brought back faux florals. So just be careful if I'm inspiring you to do this. Like, you can't go with like the Kelly green looking stems. You have to go with like the natural greens. This is a very earthy palette. This was our client's vessel. It's real brass. It's just, it works here. Still slightly terrified, but it works and I did it. And now I've confessed to you. So in here, this is the laundry room and it is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Double washer and dryer, which is so useful for everyone. I even think for a family of 3, which they're a family of 3 plus Mimi, so 4. It's so useful. You can get your laundry done in half the time, which is amazing. The flooring in here is limestone. It's a super, super, super tumbled rough limestone, and we actually went with a 1/4 inch grout joint in here, so that's why it looks so much more rustic. If you want your tile to go farther and to look more rustic, look more aged, go with a bigger grout joint. Of course, you're gonna have maintenance on more grout, wider grout joint, but in this case, like, it's pretty much impossible to damage this tile because it's so earthy and rustic and gets better with time that it really works in here. Lots of storage. We actually have a creamy white grass cloth on the walls. It's a little bit hard to come through in video. Of course, the farmhouse sink, so much folding space. I just think this space, like, I'm not a big laundry room person, as you guys know, and I love designing them, but for myself, I'm not super into it. And right now I'm like kind of regretting not making my laundry room look just like this one. So as we walk back through the great room, I can show you a couple other details. Here in the entryway, you can see where we use some transition pieces. So we went with, this is Zanzibar flooring from Urban Floor. It's the same flooring that's in my office. It's incredible. One of my favorites. It's in a chevron. And then we broke this at the entry with this vintage brick. So these brick straight stack lays are at every single threshold and entry point, which just adds a level that is incredible. So back this way is powder number 2, which I'll show you actually in a minute. I don't want the 2 powders like back to back. This is the office. We are here in the office, and I love an office, right? I love a man's office. And this is, I'd say, like, our client will work here, Mike. But I don't know, I feel like it feels like a kind of a shared office just because there's so much art and amazing pieces around. If I could show you this book, it's handwritten. I don't want to handle it because I truly think that it's like, it has to just be such an important piece to them. So, but it's incredible. I love this curation of art here. We basically just hung the biggest piece that we could and then kind of layered and then also hung a piece under that, which I feel like works really well and brings this whole wall in. The window treatments are incredible. The chair, the rug, the desk. This desk is huge, and I have to say it on YouTube. Yesterday, Rach walks in and we're installing. She's like, ugh, BDE, which I know you guys probably all know what that means, except maybe my dad if he's watching. But to us in this space, it means big desk energy. I love it. It was just perfect. So I was like, I'm stealing that tomorrow for YouTube. So big desk energy in this space, baby. It is huge. This is 84 inches by like 52 inches. It's the biggest desk I've ever seen, and truthfully, the biggest one we've ever placed. So, so this is the office. This is a vintage bar piece that has been in their family for years as well. So a little bit of like Mad Men energy in here also, which I absolutely love. So across from the office is another very special room. So this room is Wells' room, and he is the sweet little boy that lives here. And something super important to our clients was that he had a room that felt finished and that he could grow into. And I think this room just nails it. So we started with this custom checkered bed that just turned out incredible. I love it so much. It is available at www.thelifestyleco.com. It's such a beautiful piece, and I just think that the scale of the checkers works perfectly. And then we capped or on either side placed these raw brass sconces that just, again, kind of balance, like he's a little boy, but he's not gonna be a little boy forever. And so I love that that kind of gives, like, again, like a little bit of a vintage nod to it. He's a cowboy at heart, so single cowboy hat over the bed, beautiful bedding, a little bit more playful, edgy prints in here, I think you can see, than the rest of the home. Plenty of storage. He's got a closet here. This vintage print of Arizona just across the room is actually, I want to say his granddad's, and that, I'm pretty sure that was his granddad's, which again, like every single room, these clients just have something incredible and like perfect for every space, which is such a gift to work with. And then I'll take you in here. Right behind me, or behind you, is the bathroom that Wells also shares with his dad in the office. So just outside of Wells' suite is the other powder room I was talking about. It's got such good vibes. It's just so good. It has Roman clay, which is basically a non-negotiable, I feel like, in every powder room, it seems, these days coming out of our office. But again, how do we make it feel aged? How do we pay, right, all of the love to like this vintage art piece that was obviously our clients? We have some vintage books down below. So layering the walls with some sort of wall treatment, again, in this case, Roman clay, just makes sense. It just works so beautifully. So we also wanted to bring in additional elements that are natural. So this is a marble sink. And then on each of the sconces, it has this little bar of travertine behind it. So you don't often get stonework and lighting. So that was just such a unique moment to use that. And then the mirror is an antiqued mirror. So again, it just feels aged. Like there is no part of this space to me that feels like it was just built 8 months ago. And actually it was finished like 1 month ago. So, which is such a good thing, right? Like it's hard to do, especially in design. So not only am I proud, but I want you guys to think about if you want to build a home like this, or you want even your existing home to feel more aged, you got to add those layers. Don't build so much that you can't add the layers, right? I'd rather see a more intimate floor plan and really be able to layer it up than just a big white box that's like humongous and not finished. So this powder room I adore, and it'll be such a vibey place for guests. And then over here, I wanted to take a special moment to recognize these two pieces. We have never put art on a closet door. Oh, but it just works. Like I wanted these pieces to have a vantage from all the way across the room, and they do. And I don't even know the story to these. I didn't ask our clients specifically about these, but I think it's either a couple or maybe like two friends, like two old men. And I just love it. It just like brings me joy. So my thought was, as our clients like tuck their little boy in at night, or they go in their office and work, they're kind of seeing this couple, we'll call it, here and placed on the door, even though it's not kind of the end of a hallway, it's still capping. So I just love it. I think it's a really unique styling moment, and I would love to see it more places. The primary bedroom. Always one of the most special to us. We love designing for couples. We love designing a retreat, right? Your primary space should feel like the place you go to relax and to reset. And again, just a space that brings you joy. This space is, I think, unlike probably any other primary bedroom that we've designed, specifically because it has so many pieces that just do so much talking. So this piece, this is an heirloom antique piece. I love the scale of it. Like, look at how tall this is. This has to be like 50 inches tall, which it's really hard to find furniture that tall anymore. This is another one of our clients' curated art pieces. But then we added new pieces. So this piece is new. I love all of the vintage books and the placement that we have here. Rach did an incredible job styling this space. And then this chair, I would love for you guys to tell me what you think. Do you think this is a vintage antique piece, or do you think it's new? I'm gonna tell you right now. So it's new. It's a brand new piece, and we saw it at market about probably about 2.5 years ago. And we've been holding on to it ever since. And I knew that it needed like a corner, like the corner. And this is the corner. And this is the client that appreciates this type of piece. This piece will be in their family. I hope this piece will be a piece that they pass on for generations. It's just so unique. It's so comfortable. Like, let me just demo here for you, because I love to sit in it because it's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's so comfortable, you guys. I don't want to put my feet on here, but I think I can keep my shoes off. Like, how beautiful is this? Reading a book, like just enjoying it. I love how we set it off with this round boucle pillow. Again, it's just like playing with all the lines. And I just am so impressed with the space. The primary bath completes the primary suite. And the vibe in this room is kind of like Turkish bath vibes. Like, we wanted it to feel layered, which is so hard to do in a bathroom. I've told you guys that a million times. But we also wanted it to feel effortless and clean and easy. So we went with quartz in here, which is very common in bathroom spaces. Like I said, it's completely easy, maintenance free. And I love that we actually created this little protrusion, which almost creates an apron front on this undermount sink. So this is all made with countertop. It just, again, it feels aged. It feels like it's been here for a long time. It kind of feels like we built the bathroom, I feel like, around these two vanity pieces. We also went with Phylrich living, one of Phylrich's living finishes called French brass in the plumbing. And if you don't know about a living finish, there are a few different finishes in plumbing or just in general metals that they wear and age over time. And this is one, like I said, Phylrich French brass. I personally feel, and we feel as a design firm and our clients feel, that it just gets better over time. So the brass is actually not sealed, and as it has fingerprints on it and oils and water spots, it patinas and it ages over time. So interestingly, you pay a lot more for it and you either love it and you're like really super into a living finish, or you hate it and it doesn't look clean and you can't get the water spots off, and then maybe you like try to clean it with Windex and then it's like ruined forever, and we don't want that. So this client, as you can imagine, having all of those you know, desires and like loves in antique and vintage, definitely the right client for this. So if you're a designer out there and you're designing, make sure that your clients know if you're specifying a living finish, what they can expect. It will never look cleaner than it does the day it's installed. And like I said, it gets better over time. So we love it. So Phylrich French brass is a living finish, and that's what we used in here. We continued the Bravada Voussoir flooring in here. I have wood flooring at my house. A lot of people asking questions, how do you have wood flooring in a bathroom? The only way you can really have it is if you have a pretty large shower, to where you can shut the shower off and you can completely dry off and you don't have to worry too much about water staying on the floors. Engineered hardwood these days is a really versatile product, and so it's really easy to do. But if you're that person who like has a very small shower and gets out of the shower and is just like soaking wet, and you don't use a bath mat and you don't clean it up right after, might not be the best fit for you. But in this case, it totally works. This bathtub moment is just gorgeous. It's on this corner with beautiful draperies. If you have a bathtub that you can put panels around, do it. I'm purposely like not stepping on this layered rug moment because it just looks so good and like scrumptious and wonderful that I don't want like shoe on here. But the layers play so beautifully. This floor mounted filler, again, just so gorgeous. And then I think the most special moment of this bath is the shower. Come into the shower with me, YouTube. This shower, again, the living finish in the French brass. This is called Tadelakt. So if you're wondering where the tile is, there's no tile. Or how the tile looks like wall, there's no tile. So Tadelakt is a Moroccan waterproof plaster treatment. It's very hard to find someone to do it. I would not recommend doing it yourself because you can do it very wrong. But when done properly, it's been used for centuries and centuries and centuries overseas, and it's finally coming to the States, and we're finally finding craftsmen and tradespeople who know how to install it correctly. So it's just beautiful. It's so user friendly. It is so rustic. It's just like this beautiful blank canvas. So it really allows the plumbing to show so beautifully. Like this piece, look at it, it already has like beautiful water spots and patina. Again, you guys, we paid extra for that. I hope you don't hate it. We love it, and our clients love it. I'll also show you like this. I love this plumbing for this reason. It has this big beefy rosette here and backplate, which like, look at the wall. It's just like so minimalist. There's nothing competing with it. It's just stunning. Like, I think I would just sit here and like, just look around all day while I was in the shower. This has truly been one of my favorite house tours of this project, our PV Vista build. Thank you so much to Roborock for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check the link in description. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna need one of these things because it is like really incredible, life-changing. Thank you so much to our clients for truly allowing us the honor to design with pieces that mean so much to you. When they mean that much to you, they mean that much to us. And it has been such a learning experience. As a designer and a stylist, I can honestly look around, and my brain hurt when I left after this install because it was harder than it normally is when you're kind of working with all the pieces you normally do. So I truly consider it an honor. I know Rachel McCloskey, the lead designer on this project, does as well. The builder on this is ENS Builders, and the architect is John Anthony from JA Drafting. You know we love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support on YouTube. Talk to us in the comments. We will try to link everything we can, and I'll catch you on the next one.